What is up, y'all? This is Alex from Alex PC Tech again, back at you with another video, and today we're gonna be doing an overview of the ASUS TUF Gaming B660 plus Wi-Fi D4, enumerate some of its notable features, and finally give you a conclusion on what and who this motherboard is for. With that said, let's start with the unboxing. What's in the box is the Wi-Fi 6 antenna, the motherboard, 2 SATA cables, some M.2 thermal pads, and some M.2 screws. We have some quick start guides, some manuals in installing the PC components. We have the user guide, the user manual, a driver CD, who uses this, the certificate of reliability, and some decals. It even has a sticker for the CMOS battery. Now, checking the motherboard by itself, it complies to the previous theme of the TUF Gaming Alliance, which is black, yellow, and now there's this light gray over here. So as you can see, it seems that this big part is part of the heat sinks. However, if you look closely, I think this is plastic, I'm not sure. If you look closely, it is not connected with the heat sink, see? So the only heat sink that we have is this stacked here and the one that is up top. Now, let's move on to the basic parts of this motherboard. Up top, we have the 4 and 8 power connectors, and then following that are one CPU fan and one CPU optional fan here. So along with these fan connectors are the ones that are here on the middle. So we have one chassis fan, which is here. Okay, so they've put the chassis fan here so that when you route your fan on the side of the case, you can route it through here. Next is we have the AIO pump beside it. Moving on, we have two Gen 2 RGB connectors here. So along with these two is one on the bottom, another 2.1, this one, and another 12-volt RGB header beside it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Next is we have the 24-pin power connector, and then we have the USB-C connector, and then we have the USB Gen 1 connectors here as well. And then below that are two SATA connectors, as you can see. Let's move that to the side. So these are two SATA connectors here at the side, and then below that we shall see the front panel connector. So this is the front panel connector here, and then the CMOS jumper, clear CMOS jumper here, and then below that is two SATA ports as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4 SATA connectors for this motherboard. Next is we have again two chassis fans. So these are two chassis fans. So 1, 2, 3 chassis fans for this motherboard. So 2 for the front, and then 1 for the back, and then probably the AIO is here for the CPU fan up top. Okay, next is after that is we have two USB 2.0 headers, and then yeah, the RGB beside it, and then one Thunderbolt header, and then after that is we have the COM port connector, and then we have the front audio connector. So in case your case has a front audio panel, then you need to connect it from here. So moving on to the middle of the connector, the major connectors. So we have the an M.2 PCIe here at the middle, 4.0, and then aside from that we had two more here at the bottom. So you have a total of 3 PCIe M.2 connectors, so for the NVMe SSDs. And then we have two X16 slots, which are, this one is actually supporting PCIe 5.0. It supports PCIe 5.0, and it has this feature of the steel reinforcement from ASUS, so that in case you need to add heavy graphics card, then this has the support. I forgot what you call the feature. After that, we have two PCIe 3.0 X1 slots, so both of them are here. Moving on to the CPU socket, we of course have the LGA 1700 for 12th gen, Intel processors. And then beside that is we have the DDR4 RAM slots. So these motherboard supports DDR overclocking, and if you're going to be putting your motherboard, they have it color corrected here, so you need to put it on the gray ones if you're going to be doing dual channel. So one here, or if you have 3 configuration, then two RAMs here, 1 RAM here. So yeah, so it's included in the manual. Moving on to the rear panel connector, we have one HDMI connector, one DisplayPort connector, one USB 2.0, and 3 USB 3.2 connectors, one USB Type-C connector. You have your 2.5 gigs Ethernet LAN. You have your Wi-Fi 6 adapters here, or Wi-Fi 6 antennas. And then you have the SPDIF out, you have the rear speaker, you have the sub, and then you have the mic in, line out, and line in. Also, one thing that you need to note when you are planning to buy this motherboard is that you can only do RAID 0, 1, 5, 10 on the SATA and not on the NVMe SSD drives. This motherboard was released earlier this year. But before we can understand this motherboard, let's briefly discuss what the B660 chipset is. Not to be confused with the B550 from Team Red, the B660 is designed for budget-oriented builds for the LGA 1700 12th Gen Intel processors. Now, this is focused on budget-oriented builds and it doesn't support CPU overclocking. Although rumors are surfacing that specific boards can be OC'd, it supports memory overclocking, but cuts out on PCIe lanes in general from its big brother, the Z690. This means lesser USB ports and SATA ports. However, there is one thing where the B660 is really made for, and that is on catering to minimum gaming setups. You see, most of us, including me, use one SSD NVMe, one HDD for the games or to store files, and also since multiple GPUs are not a thing nowadays, a single GPU setup is what is recommended. With that said, a single X16 PCIe slot that is on PCIe 5.0 and an NVMe M.2 that has like 4 lanes and is directly on to the CPU is like the minimum setup that the B660 offers. With that said, this is the best use case scenario where you will choose a B660 motherboard such as this one. Buy this if you're currently building a 12th gen PC and you plan on upgrading to the next gen of GPUs as this supports PCIe 5.0. At 174 USD when filming this video, at the time of filming this video, this can actually compete in higher tier B660 motherboards. Not only that, I can safely recommend this to CPUs such as the 12400, the 12600, and of course the 12700, the non-K CPUs, as they cannot be overclocked and the B660 doesn't support overclocking. Comparing it to the Prime B660M-A or the MSI Pro B660M-A, which are entry-level motherboards at around 830 USD, these extra features are worth the money and are nice to haves, such as the Thunderbolt 3 header, a large heatsink, the 7.1 audio channel, although I would have wished for a better audio codec, AI noise cancellation, 2 front USB headers, and also ASUS BIOS's UI is one of the best in the industry, in my opinion. Not to mention that they have updated the BIOS 5 times already since the release of this motherboard. One thing that I would have to say regarding this motherboard is that the audio codec could be a little bit better. But if ASUS decides to upgrade the codec of this one, then this would actually compete with the Strix, the ROG Strix lineup, as those have better audio codecs. Well, better audio codecs, better LAN, and better VRM. So yeah, but that's around $45 or $50 more. I want to do a shout out to Life in Victory. I'll put a link of his YouTube channel down below in the description somewhere, as he created a tier list of the current gen motherboards. So shout outs to you for doing that. Like if you like this video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Do you agree with us? Do you think that at around $174, this is a worth it motherboard for the B660? Yes, no, maybe? Comment down below. See you on the next video and take care, guys.